before I take more questions. Thank you very much. Now, let me say this. Operation Rescue Finale, even though has its main thrust in Sambisa Forest, covers the entire theater. So the Mandra Mountains, which we talked about, the Gozo Hills, are part and parcel of it. The last time we met, I told you of the operations we conducted to, of course, the bombardment of the hills, and the operation we conducted to Ngoshi. So it's a comprehensive thing. War is not fought, in specific areas. You don't just zero in on an area and then leave out others. Otherwise, when you make gains in one, the tendency is that the problem shifts to another. So I would like to assure you that it covers everywhere. Okay? Now, for those who surrendered in Damboa, there were 4 that surrendered. Of course, I've also given you those who we intercepted, those who were pretending to be IDPs, those, of course, who we also, the figures, of course, I've given to you. Now, yes, Blessing, okay, fine. I left out the issue of this engagement, the routes of engagement and safe corridor that is open for the surrender. Of course, that's a deliberate thing that we make. It is not a Scotch-Ed policy that we have. We make, because this is an internal operation, even though it's not taking a terrorism dimension, we have made provision to ensure that those who were told a part of reason have a channel for them to surrender and then for them to be rehabilitated. That's the whole essence of creating Operation Safe Corridor that will give them that window. Even in this operation, we have also circulated leaflets. We have dropped it in the house of Sambisa as we were conducting this operation for them to read and understand our intentions, for them to know that we do not intend to annihilate all of them, but for them to leave. And so this is something that we do by way of a deliberate plan as part of the operation. Now, Blessing, thanks for that question. Yes, you're right. The goodwill message articulated when the troops will be taken out of barracks. Of course, you also agree with me that a good number of the troops have been in the theater for a long time. Even though this is a military operation, you also understand that internal security is the purview of the police and other security agencies. So by our assessment, we believe that yes, there will be remnant of troops that will be here in the theater post Operation Lafia Dole. There will be, of course, deployment of troops to address other issues that other police and other security agencies may not be able to undertake. It's a gradual thing. It's not that I can't tell you when the operation is going to fold up. But what I can tell you by the assurances that the Chief of Army Staff in his message has given to the troops is that there will be a reduction come next year of the size of troops in this theater. Why? It is not wishful thinking. It's based on the facts that are on ground, the gains that we have made, and I think that is something that we need to do. But I need to also say this. You see, the military line of operation is only one of the various lines of operation that are relevant to bringing total peace and security into the Northeast. And I think that has to come clear. Now, the Sambisa forest that we are currently operating, a key challenge that we have ever had, and of course also in the north, is access. There are no roads. Even when you talk about communities returning to where they come from, it's also part of the challenge. And I believe that, of course, we have been having engagement with different stakeholders for them to also begin to key in, to know the successes we've made, where they need to interface and begin to play more critical role in advancing the peace process forward. For us, the issue of transition is very key. The problem is not going to be totally eliminated, no. But what I can tell you is that the carnage, the extent of carnage, the threats, the limit of threats will be greatly reduced such that other security agencies will be able to play the part. Where they are unable to do so, of course, the troops that will be left behind will quickly interface to address whatever remnant of issues security-wise that may be. But I can tell you that the December deadline, 2015 deadline was given. It's not a fluke. It was achieved because you would agree with me that the heat, in quote, the extent of how do I put it, the impunity with which Boko Haram operated in the past was reduced. That of course, by December last year, you saw that there was a great reduction, and they never had that leverage to want to carry out daring attacks. So, in the expression that, of course, Boko Haram was technically defeated, I believe that I share such sentiments. And so, what we've done is to consolidate on the gains that were made last year and to build it to this level that we think that this Operation Rescue Final should see the end of Boko Haram. And in terms of requiring the level of military arsenals that were employed in this war. Now, you also talk about the liberated communities, issues of IEDs, and why it's been difficult for the communities, for locals to return to their communities. I believe that assessment is not completely true. Of course, I'm not expecting that in one swoop, everyone that is in the IDP camps will reduce. But I can tell you that there's a significant reduction of the number of IDPs, especially in Maiduguri. Before now, Dikwa was not occupied, that you know. Before now, Konduga was an IDP camp. Today, if you go there, you have life that is bubbling. If you also go to Bama, in spite of the IDP camps that is there, you also find that a good number of the locals have returned and they are beginning to lead their normal lives. A lot of reconstruction is going on. I was in Goza a few days back. Of course, you also know that people have returned. The roads that were opened from Limankara, of course, from Madagali to Limankara and to Goza, that has also improved on, the activities of the locals are helping them to return to where they come from. And going forward, of course, within this month, I'm looking ahead, and of course, part of the plan that will open up more roads and encourage communities to go back. I've mentioned in the past that we're not going to have 100% security. It doesn't exist anywhere. But then, in managing violence, it must be such to an extent that you use the right tools, such that it gets to a level where the civil security agencies should be able to manage whatever is there. In our villages where life is going on normally, of course, it is not devoid of some form of criminal activities or the other. So, by our assessment, what obtains in the various villages that have been liberated, it's essential that that will give opportunity for other security agencies to begin to, for the communities to be reoccupied, and of course the other civil security agencies to begin to play their part. But I must also say, just like some weeks back when the PCNI came here, the security subcommittee of that committee, came here, I did emphasize the need for them to begin to look at other issues that border on development, opening up of roads. I have limited assets that will aid my operations, but going forward, for you to have